into the space where minds collide. Annie and Kerrie gonna be your guide. Psychic wonders and spiritual delight will unveil the mysteries and the light. Tune your senses, sharpen your mind. Feel the energy, let your soul unwind. Tarot cards and angels' wings. Sound healing makes your spirit sing. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Energy flowing through your veins. Unlock your power, break the chains. With Annie and Kerrie on this ride, discover the universe inside. Healing words in crystal glow, guiding through the ebb and flow. Feel the love that we impart. Awaken the magic in your heart. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days.
Hello, Anne. I don't know what's happening. Have you not got us?
I don't know why you have a nice yellow screen.
We're here. Hello.
Says everything's connected. I'm not sure. Maybe jump out and go back in again.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lonnie.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lonnie. Can you see us on screen okay? Interesting.
Hi, Jeanette.
And welcome, Rhiannon. Here we are looking at this because Anne said she's only got a yellow screen. Just hoping everyone can see us okay and can hear us okay.
Yeah, Kathy can see us.
Yes, Kathy can see us. Jeanette can see us.
us.
And I can only suggest jumping out and jumping back in. I'm not sure.
Oh, she's found us.
That's good.
Hi, Esther. Welcome. Okay. Well,
super excited to have you with us, Rhiannon.
I'm excited.
Hi, Annie. Now that we've got
I'm here. Hello.
Rhiannon did a wonderful session at the gathering at Annie's place that she holds monthly with a group of people. And we enjoyed it so much. At the end of it, I said, Rhiannon, would you come on our live stream and share, you know, a summary or a shortened version of this session with us? And she kindly agreed and probably didn't think what she was getting herself into. But anyway, you're here. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a habit of jumping in feet first and going, oh, okay, what was that about again? This is just right up my alley.
So for those who would usually come along to the gatherings that weren't there, so hi, Marani, like Marani, you're going to get a catch-up tonight on this, which is awesome. So we thought we won't do a meditation to bring everyone together tonight, because what Rhiannon's doing is actually going to center us, mind, body, spirit. So we thought we probably don't need a meditation tonight.
And let's face it, I'm too excitable at the moment. There's no way meditation's going to work on me.
What Rhiannon's going to do, I call tippy tapping. because that's what we're going to do. We're going to be tippy tapping. I was tippy tapping on Monday, nearly poked a hole in my head because of my big long nails, but that's okay. So we'll hand over to you, Miss Rhiannon, and you can give it its proper name, not tippy tapping. I'll just leave it in your capable hands. Off you go, my lovely.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I am going to talk about emotional freedom technique, EFT, or otherwise known as tapping. And he just likes to label things with cute names, so tippy tapping it is. Whatever makes you feel better and whatever makes you remember it is fine by me. I don't know if anyone sort of out there tonight has heard of tapping or has experienced tapping before, but basically it is an effective method for reducing anxiety, stress, emotional issues, working on both real and imagined stresses, basically. So it increases positive emotions and self-esteem and resilience. We all need a bit of resilience. And decreases negative emotional states. Oh, excellent. Anne's heard of tapping before. This is awesome. I have been tapping for probably 10 years or so now, for quite a long time. I love it. As sometimes I still self-sabotage myself and don't tap even though I know I should. I'm sure a lot of people are in that same boat. We're only human. But I find that for me, if I'm worked up about something or I'm anxious about something, if I tap it out and go through all of the points and do some sessions, that it really clears my energy. It makes me a lot calmer within myself. And part of that is because there's actually research that says it engages your parasympathetic nervous system, which in today's era, we're not in that like very rarely at all, unless we actually actively do things like meditation or we make time for ourselves to put ourselves first. So it's about doing that amygdala reset and hey, Sash. I'm so going to get distracted. Don't mind here, blonde here. The other thing that I really love about tapping is that it's not just a woo-woo thing. There's so many things out there that if you appreciate those sort of things, I mean, we're here for a reason, but it also is based in research. So it's kind of like a blend of East meets West. So we've got Western science and medicine with Eastern medicine as well. So we've got a bit of neuroscience and psychology from the West, which is about exposing you to like that cognitive therapy and exposure therapy with the tapping. And then, of course, we use the acupressure points, which work through the meridians to realign yourself, remove blocks, and get that energy flowing throughout your system again. So for me, it's a perfect fit because I actually really love the whole East meets West. I mean, well, hello, look at my background. I've got like a gorgeous, Asian-inspired photo frame up there, which is basically the decor of my whole house. So I'm very much into East meets West. So this really works for me on both levels. But the great thing about this is that it's been around long enough now for there to actually have been clinical research, which is amazing because we actually have in Australia, based on the Gold Coast, Dr. Peter Stapleton, who is one of the global leaders in research in tapping. I mean, how cool is that?
That is cool.
An Aussie leading stuff, which is fabulous. So, I mean, some of the things from research, and actually, if you just Google Dr. Peter Stapleton, it's PETA Stapleton. She's actually got lists of all.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, hi.
sorry, Rhiannon.
We need Colleen. Where's Colleen? Cole,
I know, that's it.
So, for example, like some of the research that has come through is there's like 99% of studies show that this methodology is effective. They've done research studies for the effective treatment of pain, anxiety, depression, food cravings. I can attest to that one. Trauma and PTSD. That's pretty impressive. They do a lot of work through vets and post-traumatic stress from ex-soldiers. And they also do a lot of research on peak athletic performance, which is really cool. In 2019, for example, some of the things that have been coming through about like the rest of the world starting to catch up on tapping is, so 2019, tapping was actually approved for use in South Korean hospitals in their medical system, which is so super cool. There are some Gold Coast hospitals that use tapping, probably because Peter's down there and does awesome work with it, and, you know, handy to have a hospital right by you to do your studies in. But I mean, that's really cool. Oh, you know, whole medical system takes it on board in 2019. In 2020, there was like a major review of psychological treatments for PTSD that determined that tapping was the second most effective at reducing PTSD symptoms at the end of treatment. EDMR was actually the most effective for those that are interested. But how cool, really easy to do, and easy to do yourself as well. And we're going to do some tapping later on today. I've actually got some really cool cards that I'm going to do a bit of a shuffle and see what jumps out for the collective and see what we all need to clear, because, you know, we're at the end of the snake. We still need to do that final bit of shedding. And how cool is the timing for this? We've got the full moon on our doorstep, which is that final cut for, you know, the month and the cycle and everything like that. And it's like that perfect opportunity for some last minute deep release and just last minute shedding, which
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Rhiannon. I thought when you presented this at the gathering, my first thought was, oh my gosh, the timing of this is just awesome. And more people need to know about this to get the benefit from it before we do that last shift. So,
Totally.
timing is perfect.
Oh, it was brilliant. I was like, oh, that was meant to be. So 2021, still more things coming through that UNESCO actually recommended tapping as a psychological, let me wrap my tongue around some of these words, as a psychological intervention for children and parents during and following disasters. There's actually programs that we've got in Australia. It's basically a tapping first aid that is used after we have floods or bushfires or things like that. There's people that actually go down and do what is considered to be tapping first aid to get those people involved or experienced in those hardships over that hump, just so that they can start to clear a little bit and actually get on with what needs to be getting on rather than getting stuck, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
The UK as well, the NHS specifically recommends that tapping is used as a support measure for staff and managers' mental health and wellbeing. That's a great step forward. Maybe we should do that for teachers too. Controversial.
I actually think a lot of professions, high stress professions, would benefit from this sort of thing. And there's a lot of corporates that look at wellness programs, and they really, I really think it should be promoted, because it's something that everyone can learn, but then can implement themselves as they need it. So there's an ongoing benefit to that. Yeah.
I agree. And isn't that like the epitome of leadership, where you have some knowledge, you teach someone what to do with it, and then they take it and run for themselves and become better versions of themselves, and they can reach their highest good. Like, I just kind of think that's really cool. So it's kind of why I'm doing this.
No, but I love about it. I just love that there's so many things out there that are coming to the fore. So we've got things like meditation, we've got the sound healing, we've got the tippy tapping, we've got all of these things that don't cost any money and don't involve taking drugs. Which is why a lot of this stuff has been shoved into the background, because Big Pharma don't like that, because we're not supposed to be able to heal ourselves. We're supposed to take their pills that all have horrible side effects. I don't think there's a drug that has been invented that doesn't have some kind of side effect. Whereas if you can just settle yourself with meditation, clear your energy with tippy tapping. I need to call it its proper name. I'm an idiot.
It's fine. Who knows what it is? It's all good.
And then, like so many, like even right back to the
EFT,
beginning of
everybody, EFT.
EFT. Sorry.
That's what I tell you.
Mind your business. Right back to the beginning of time. Like every single culture has music. And that's another way of healing. So we've got 3 ways and 100 more, like all of the Reikis and all the other healings that negate the need for drugs. And anything that negates the need for taking drugs is got to be better for you. And it's free. Like it's just magic. Lisa. Oh, nice. Let me put Lisa's comment up. Some schools do it.
They do.
Lisa implemented it within the special education system. Very
Brilliant.
effective. It's
Yes.
also amazing for our pets when they're in distress.
Wow,
Yes.
that's interesting,
My doggy.
Lisa. Yeah.
It is. And you can do, if your pets won't sit long enough for you to actually do it on them, you can do it on yourself as a surrogate. Kind of a bit like Reiki, I suppose. You know how you can do remote Reiki, sort of the same thing. Yeah, so pets are good as well. Yeah, but even on that research, to carry on from what you were saying there, Annie, is that there is research. There's those clinical trials actually show that the effects, the long-lasting effects on tapping, like I was just reading an article this week actually that Peter had released saying that they'd just done. Oh no, it was a video actually. That they'd just done their first 2-year follow-up trial and were still seeing that the results were effective and that they were still clear and that they weren't being triggered again. And yes, they might have needed a little bit of follow-up, but not nearly in the same way as they did. And that's 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, that seems impressive to me. You know, the fact that it's researched and backed. I mean, we know what we know because we feel the results, but sometimes it's nice to have that research there to back you up when someone goes, well, why do this?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, my argument for why do this, apart from the research, says it tells you to, so just do as you're told, is it supports your mind-body connection. You know, Kerrie mentioned that at the start. It gets you well and truly in the present. It brings you back to your center and focuses you. And, I mean, we're all here because we're very aware of that mind-body connection and even that source connection. So this is something that helps us as healers ourselves. Reducing your stress, anxiety, your overwhelm, improve your health. I mean, who doesn't want to do any of these things? You know, we're all looking for new ways. There's so many things in the world, so many pollutants. You know, we're running around like chooks with our heads chopped off. There's never enough time in the day, but there is always enough time when you're sitting on the loo to just do a quick round of tapping to sort yourself out. There's always time, people. There's always time. And I mean, there's an absolute bucket load of benefits. And if you want to see some of those benefits, there's actually a whole bunch of graphics that Dr. Peter Stapleton has released on her website that are free for anyone to access. And they are just amazing. Like, it shows crazy things like 68% reduction in stress within the first few rounds of tapping. Like, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, so
So Google her, everybody, because it's readily available. And if you Google on her name, a lot of that research just comes up, because I did that the other day. So yeah, definitely go and have a look at that.
Yeah, and whatever your interest is, she's basically got some sort of research on it. And if it's not there, it's probably in the wings. Very, very clever human being. So yeah, definitely look her up. Speaking of other people that you might want to look up, if this is something that interests you. So whilst Peter is about the research side and getting some evidence behind why tapping is so brilliant and why we should all do it, one of my personal favorites is Brad Yates. He is in America, and he basically works at putting the theory into practice. So he has a YouTube that you can subscribe to, and he actually every week, although at the moment he's doing more. I suspect he's on holidays because he did one from Croatia, and I was a little bit jealous. But he does a weekly tapping with Brad, and he just goes through different things that might pop up, or things that have popped up in his life or with people that he's worked with during the week that he thinks that everyone might benefit from a little mini session with. And they're often only about 10 minutes. So even if you just kind of want to gently put yourself in there and maybe do 10 minutes a week just as a bit of a trial, keep in mind that they are general. You get the most benefit when you're working on something that is specific to you. The general will always have a benefit, but obviously you will feel it more powerfully if it's something that you yourself need to release, which I always find funny in the ways of release. So like when that energy shifts, you know, there might be lots of burping,
Yawning.
there might be really big sighs. You know, I've had a few sessions where I've just bawled my eyes out, but geez, I felt so good after that. And it's amazing. So whatever comes through, I mean, you might even get a random giggle that pops up as you're doing some tapping. Roll with it, because it is that energy releasing and allowing you to get back into that flow again. It might be a bit weird at first, and if you feel like you're a bit of a nut job doing it, that's okay. Tap on that. This tapping stuff is weird. Oh, I feel like a bit of a nut job. Look, I'm in the middle of the public space just tapping on my face. How weird is this? Maybe I can accept this. I'm feeling better already, you know, that kind of thing. So so Brad Yates is a really great one to get into. I really like hearing him, and he has this really lovely, beautiful, affirming way in which he approaches everything. And I do happen to love one of his catchphrases that he says that everyone is a magnificent child of the universe. And I adore that now. When he first said it, I was like, yeah, good on you. But the more tapping sessions I ended up doing with him, because sometimes he injects it into there as well. He's like, I'm a magnificent child of the universe. And I'm like, all right, I'll roll with it. I'm a magnificent child of the... I now believe it, which is awesome. So...
And everyone in here is a magnificent child of the universe, let me tell you.
And if you are not feeling that, people, be tapping along in this whole session through all my talks, let it all out.
Rhiannon, how often would you tap? Is this just if you're experiencing stress or anxiety or whatever? How often do you need to do it?
Look, I'm a big believer in you tap whenever you need to. You tap whenever you feel like it, okay? So whenever you feel an emotion, any emotion, it doesn't matter what it is, and wherever you feel comfortable too. So it could be at home, it could be at work, in the bathroom, if you're uncomfortable at work, in the car, it could, you know, pay attention to the roadways, people, but you can also still do it in the car. I actually...
As a passenger.
Yeah, or at the traffic lights. That works. So I do it in a few different ways. So I will do it when I feel something come up for me that I think, oh, goodness. So like I have a new puppy. For those that know me, I have a new puppy, and my dad is hilarious. He's like, don't turn into neurotic. And I'm like, oh, God, I think I have. So, you know, I'll tap on those sort of things like, Helene is fine. She's okay. She's doing well. She's training well. You know, I'm the nut job. It's okay for me to have compassion for myself. You know, I need to understand that she's still a puppy. She's only little, all that sort of stuff. So I tap on that, for example, and that's a current thing. But I also tend to like tapping when Brad stuff comes up. He just drops a weekly email in my email inbox because I subscribe to him. And, you know, last week was one on shame because he was in Croatia and he was actually standing at the Tower of Shame in Zagreb. And he did a little bit of a history talk about it, and then he just did some tapping on shame. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to tap with him because why not? I've got, you know, I'm watching it, so I might as well. And it was really interesting. Not a lot came up for me, but there were a couple of statements that he said that I thought, oh, actually, that resonates. But it gave me a chance to clear it, even though I didn't realize there was anything there. I certainly hadn't been triggered by anything. But sometimes that's the gentler way to do it, when there's not necessarily anything triggering you, because you can have that opportunity to start peeling back those layers and finding out what might make you tick. At the same time, though, if your boss is driving you nuts and you need to vent, then you get that out. Don't hold on to that. So I kind of do a bit of both. I do a bit of immediacy and I do a little bit of, I guess, what would be considered proactive prevention. So yeah, and the other people that I would recommend that you look up if you're keen on this kind of thing is the Ortner siblings. They're also based in the US. They have an app called the Tapping Solution, and they're kind of more like Brad in that they're theory into practice, but they have these really, really lovely app, and it's a split sort of thing, so you can access a certain amount of it for free, and then if obviously you subscribe, you can access the whole lot, your choice. I'm cheap, so I only do the free side. I find that works for me, but because I've been tapping for such a long time now, I can tend to form my own script, so it's not so bad. And we'll actually be using tonight when we do a bit of tapping, we'll actually be using the Ortner siblings, Jessica's tapping oracle kind of cards. So later on, I'll do a bit of a shuffle and find out what the collective might need to clear, and we'll do a couple of tapping rounds based on those. So
that's awesome. We played with those cards during the gathering, and how many of us ended up ordering them afterwards? So that's a bit of a free plug for them.
6 of us.
6 of us, yeah. They're really good, yeah.
And they're really lovely artwork, and they're it was amazing how when we as a group on Sunday were doing that and everyone was doing a bit of a shuffle for themselves and cards were dropping out, or, they were being called to pull a particular card. It was really interesting how on point they were. I mean, we know that, tarot and oracle cards and stuff like that can be like super accurate, but I was really intrigued because it's the first time that I've used this on sort of anybody else except for me, how accurate it was for everyone. I was like, ooh, this is good. This is so much fun.
There was one that Kerrie and I just lost it over because it was talking about don't get distracted. And we got distracted by not getting distracted.
Yeah, exactly. Just
started to giggle. It's like, don't get distracted. I'm distracted by not being distracted. How do I not be distracted?
It was a lot of fun. And that's where sometimes even as you were saying, Rhiannon, the laughing and the other, a whole variety of emotions that can come up through it is also a good release, because you're actually having a laugh at sometimes how silly you are, because we get distracted. I don't get distracted, sure.
It's a tiny thing. Ooh.
It was funny. But when you think about that, and we talk about this a lot, emotion is energy in motion. So however that is released is a good thing, whether it's through laughter, sighing, yawning, burping, crying, whatever that may be, there's a release of energy through that. So, yeah, it was lots of fun.
Absolutely. So I guess how does it work? Because I don't think I've touched on that yet. So let me address that, because some people like to get into the nitty-gritty. So basically tapping works in that it is a physiological response to rewire the brain. So it happens on a physiological level using those acupressure points and phrases to help work through that. And I'll take you through some of those as well. It targets the amygdala to calm your flight or fight response so that it actually gives you choice back, which is really important, because when, your animal brain kicks in, it's just doing what it needs to do to survive. Whereas if you can manage to go, oh God, that's kicked in, I need to do some tapping, even just 2 minutes will get you back to focusing and going, oh, actually, I don't need to run. There are options here. I'm calm enough now to actually see through, the trees through the forest, and can make some decisions that may not have the same kind of ramifications. So basically the tapping points work to turn off your amygdala, I guess, for want of a better phrase. So some hot tips just before I walk you through the actual tapping points and show you where they all are so that you can all have fun and poke yourselves as well, is that you can tap on either side of your body. So I personally actually like to tap only on one side because I find that sometimes I've got a lot of energy that needs to be cleared. So I find that my acupressure points get quite sensitive, and sometimes I'll need to swap sides to give it a break. Whereas if I was doing both sides at the same time all the time, I wouldn't have that option to switch it up to be able to keep going to clear what I need to clear. But you do whatever feels comfortable. This is actually a really intuitive form of emotional release. So whatever feels right for you is what is right. Okay. So you can tap both, you can tap either side. It's up to you, whatever feels comfortable. Follow that intuition. Use firmish pressure, but for goodness sake, don't do it to the point where you're going to hurt yourselves. That's not going to help anyone, least of all you.
Bruising is not required. Bruising level is not required, people.
Wait, no, my legal team says yes, will not take any responsibility for too much pressure to yourself. Be prepared for that emotional release, that shift, whatever that may be. The bigger the shift, potentially the bigger the action, whether that's burping, yawning, random giggles, crying, whatever it may be. And it might be different every time you do it. So, sometimes you might get the burping, sometimes you might get the yawning, sometimes you might get like a massive sigh. It could be different anytime. It just depends on whatever you're releasing. You can use a few fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger, your whole hand, whatever feels comfortable to you. It's completely up to you. And probably the biggest takeaway, the biggest hot tip I can give you, and this might be targeted also at AJ, it doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. If you repeat the same phrase over and over because that's the only thing going through your head, that is perfect. Okay, so go with it. It's intuition. So shall we go through the tapping points and show everyone where they are if they're not familiar?
Yeah. Do you want me to pop up that little diagram that you had?
Yeah, because that would be way more fun looking at that than watching me.
So hopefully everyone can see that.
Has everyone got that? I don't know if we can get a thumbs up or whatever. I'm used to a slightly different online version.
Yeah. It's not like a webinar, but where people just sort of let us know they can see it in chat. Might be a little bit small, but you can probably enlarge it on your screens if you need to.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, we're going to start with the first point, and I'm actually going to adjust my camera a little bit too in case you need to see me, just so that you can see all of the points. I'll try and be as clear as possible as I can on me, but you've also got the picture as well. So I'm going to take you. Awesome. Excellent. Thanks, Lonnie. Yeah, Jeanette. Awesome. Thank you. So I'm going to take you through the tapping points in the order that you would normally go through them. So I'll make sure that we do that so that it just helps to reinforce them. So the first point is actually called the karate chop point for kind of obvious reasons, because, it's literally like if you were going to chop through a whole bunch of wood, it is that point between like your wrist and the bottom knuckle of your pinky finger, that fleshy bit in the middle. So that's your karate chop point. And you can tap that any way you like. Some people might find some sensitivity. Try it on both hands. See how it feels. It might be that you feel it more on one hand. You might feel it more on another hand, whatever's comfortable. But this is the first point, called the karate chop point. And the corresponding meridian for this is actually the small intestine. And the karate chop point is designed to release feelings of being stuck and promote ease in moving forward, letting go. I like this point for that reason. Healing from grief and becoming happy in the present moment. So it's a really good point to start off, and it's a really good point for our setup statement, which I'll go through a little bit later. So that's our first point. The second point is our eyebrow point. Now, if you go to where your eyebrows are, or even the center above your nose, wherever you can see. But where the edges of your eyebrow fur, I guess, kind of is, you can feel the bone underneath it, which is part of like your eye bone. And it's just on that point there. So it's not smack in the middle of your head. It's sort of slightly to the edge, just on the top of where your eyebrow hair is. And the corresponding meridian for this is your bladder. And this point releases trauma, hurt, sadness, and promotes peace and emotional healing. So it's always a really lovely point too. Sometimes you'll see people when they're thinking, they'll sort of tap their head, or sometimes even tap the side of their head. Whether they realize it or not, they're actually doing a version of tapping, and that is helping them get out whatever is in their head that's making them feel stuck. So the third point is actually the side of the eye. Now, what I want you to do is from where you were at your eyebrow point, I want you to follow that occipital bone around the outside of your eye, and you'll kind of come to your temple. If you're wearing glasses, it's like me, it's a little bit hard to get under there, but do not tap on your temple. That's not the point. You need to go to just under your temple on that occipital bone there, right on the edge. That's the point. Okay. You don't want to tap on your temple because that's going to do funny things to your vision and, your balance and all sorts of stuff like that. And my legal team says don't do it. So I won't encourage it. But if you just tap on that bone, that's the actual point there. And this one connects to your gallbladder. And this point helps you to release resentment, anger, and promotes clarity and compassion. I tapped a lot on this point when I was experiencing some road rage. Help release a bit.
Yesterday was drive like a dickhead day. Honest to goodness. As fast as I could get off the road.
There was a 7-car pile up on the Centenary Freeway apparently yesterday, and I was like, glad I'm not driving that day. No one wants to be stuck in that. Okay, so if we come around to the fourth point, keep following your occipital bone around to under your eye, sort of in the center there. If you're looking straight ahead, it's kind of under your pupil, where your pupil would be. On that bone there is where your fourth point is, called under the eye. And this one corresponds with your stomach meridian. And the benefit of this point is actually that it releases fear and anxiety and promotes feelings of contentment, calmness, and safety. I find sometimes on me, this point gets a little bit sensitive. This is the first one for me that starts to talk back to me if I've been doing a few rounds of tapping. So I figure that means that I probably need it a lot. But all I do is I just switch to the other side if I need to, if this one's becoming more sensitive. So the next point, number 5, is actually under the nose. So it's literally on that center point on your lip, under your nose, that's like where your little cupid bow is, on there. So just that point there. And this meridian actually covers your governing vessel. So for those of you that are aware of, how all your meridians work, the governing vessel, it actually runs from that top lip point over your head, down your spine, all the way down to basically your backside. And it basically encompasses all of your yang meridians. Okay, so it does that whole strip, hence why under the nose. And the benefit of this particular point is that it releases shame and powerlessness and promotes self-acceptance, self-empowerment, and my personal favorite, compassion for self and others. Okay, our 6th point is under our mouth. So where you've got your little join on your chin, on top of your chin and under your mouth, that's the point there in the center, straight down basically vertically from where you were just tapping before under your nose. And this one corresponds with our central meridian. So again, those people that are familiar with Eastern medicine understand all of this, but for those that don't, your central meridian actually runs up the front center of your body, basically from your genitals to the top of your head. And this one is really powerful because this one actually also helps connect to source. So it goes through like your crown and your third eye and all that sort of stuff to connect to source. So this is a beautiful meridian under your mouth. And it releases confusion and uncertainty and promotes clarity, certainty, of course, confidence and self-acceptance. So that's a really nice point as well. Actually, I like all the points, but I do find that some get more sensitive than others. And you might find that that's the case with you as well as you do things. I know certainly at gathering on Sunday, there were people that were like, "Ooh, don't like that point," and others that were like, "Oh, that feels good." So yeah, you just work through it. If it feels too uncomfortable or too sensitive for you, just skip that point until you can manage to get to a point where you can actually tap it and it be okay, or reduce the pressure on it. So maybe it's just like a fairy tap. Okay, our 7th point is actually our collarbone. Now, this is the fun one. I don't know if you can see me, but if you picture, Annie calls them the brain buttons. your two little points at the hollow of, the base of your neck. So you want that collarbone. Run along your collarbone out and probably run out about maybe an inch and a half, and then go down about an inch. And it's kind of like, it almost feels like there's a little bit of a depression there at that point. That's kind of where you want to hit. It's not quite up on your collarbone. It's not in the center. It's sort of just down a little bit. Now, some people find this point really difficult to locate. And so their answer to that is to use all hands and just all fingers. I mean, you might have more than 2 hands. Go for it. But all fingers, and they just do like tapping around the whole area to make sure they're covered. As you get more confident with tapping, you'll actually find those points really easily and you'll identify them straight away, especially if they feel tight. So if you can push around and you can feel like there might be a couple of little knots in there, if you're used to feeling if you massage and stuff like that, if you find a knot, that's your point. So this one actually corresponds with your kidney, and it releases feelings of being stuck, promotes ease in moving forward, and boosts confidence and clarity. Okay, so where are we up to? Number 8. We're up to number 8. We're almost there. There's 9 in all. The next one is under the arm. Now, the under the arm, it's probably about maybe 3 inches down from the center of your armpit, 3.5 inches down from the center of your armpit. If you wear a bra, it is on that bra strap, basically pretty much where that seam joins. And it's sort of in a fleshy bit. I know that some people find it difficult to reach across to tap under. If you find it difficult to reach across and tap under, that's totally okay. Use the same hand and just use the back of your hand just to give yourself a bit of a tap in the general area. It will still work. It doesn't have to be pinpoint pressure with like your fingers or anything like that. It can be used with your hand. Do whatever feels comfortable because it is a bit of an awkward spot. This one corresponds with your spleen and releases guilt, worry, obsessing, and promotes clarity, confidence, relaxation, and compassion for self and others. One of the things that I really like about the tapping points is if you're anything like me, I sometimes need to hear a message a few times to get the hint. So the fact that some of these points address the same things over and over with slightly different twists and tweaks to them I actually believe is beneficial. It certainly works for me anyway. And then the last spot we've got, the fun spot, is the top of the head. So this one doesn't actually necessarily have a corresponding meridian. It isn't necessarily like one particular point or anything, but it's more like a collection of lots of meridian points. And it's also associated with several of the meridians and connected to your crown chakra as well. So it helps there. Some people like to tap, kind of where that little dip is in the top of your head. That's kind of the area. Some people actually like to do a bit of tapping around because they find that spot a bit sensitive. Again, remember, do what is comfortable for you. Follow what suits you. The benefits of this one is that it opens up your crown chakra and promotes your spiritual connection while anchoring in the new balance and alignment from the tapping round that you've just done. So it's kind of like that sum up point for you. Okay. I don't know if anyone has any questions or if there were any difficulties with any of them. Do we need to do a check-in or are we good?
What I might do, Rhiannon, and anyone can pop up in comments if you've got any questions about it, is if I just remove that diagram so we've got you bigger again, could you just do like a sequence through for everyone so they can see you do it as a full sequence?
Yeah,
I think that would be
absolutely.
awesome. Yeah. So let me get rid of that. Okay. You're bigger now.
Yay! You have me on full. No escaping me now. What I might do is I might take this opportunity to walk through a sequence, but I might actually walk through the whole script so that it's kind of 2 in 1. Please feel free to follow along. It may or may not resonate with you, what ends up popping into my head, because goodness knows what's going to pop into my head. It's always a surprise in my world. But we'll walk through and you can tap with me. So you can follow through. You can say it out loud after me if you really want to, or you can just tap and follow along. I recommend that, either way, at least what you do is tap and follow along. Marani says, would you do the tapping single or can you do a couple at a time? I'm not 100% sure what you mean by single or couple, Marani. Maybe if you could clarify that for me in the question box, then very happy to answer that. If you mean
Rhiannon.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep.
Okay, let's do that. All right. What does the collective need to clear today? Whoa, that was a lot. Let's not do all of those. Forever. I feel like I might have just pulled AJ's deck by mistake. This one jumped down like big time. I slow down and check in with my needs. So I feel like that one.
Wow. You know what? That's really pertinent right now.
Really?
Because in between, like this stuff that we're finally releasing, and before we move into the next, year of the horse, we're going to be forward movement.
And
that check-in with yourself, double thumbs up from me. Like that's exactly, I think, where we are. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Oh, tapping in more than one area at a time. I would go through the sequence, to be perfectly honest, Marani, simply because it's that whole sequence that helps to reset and clear and allow you that time to focus. You can, if you do double points, I would be doing the same point but on both sides of your body if that's what you would like to do, if that is helpful for you. But I wouldn't necessarily be tapping on a couple of different points at the same time. I would go through the sequence rather than try and mix it up. If it's something that you can't really do because you might be in public, your boss is standing over the top of you and you're going, stick your hands under the desk and just use the karate chop point. Or there is a point on your thigh, which is very difficult for me to show you on camera, that you can do. Or it can just be something like, you just sort of look like you're, like, oh, yes, I'm very nonchalant about things, but actually I'm tapping because you're driving me insane and I really want you to leave me alone right now. So it's, you can do just like one point if that becomes a problem to do the sequence, but I wouldn't necessarily do multiple points at any given time. Also, I personally do not have the coordination for that. I'm flat. I don't even know how to, what is it? Pat and rub your tummy or something?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. No, that's good. Thank you.
That's pleasure.
Awesome.
Rhiannon, do you have to use the script? Do you have to say the words out loud?
You don't have to say the words out loud. You can actually say them in your head. I find personally for me, I like to say them out loud because sometimes I actually need to hear myself to confirm or to release or to validate or whatever it is in the sequence that I might be doing. So I actually personally prefer to say it out loud. That said, when there's been times when I can't, I will sometimes whisper it under my breath, or sometimes I will just think it really loudly in my head.
One of the things that you said when you did this with us at the gathering was that sometimes the emotion that you feel, the one that you're triggered by, is not the actual emotion. It's the underlying, like if it's frustration, there's an underlying emotion around that
Yes.
one.
Yes.
So how difficult is it for you to identify what the underlying emotion is?
I have had times where it's taken me months to work out what my problem is. So I guess in that respect, have compassion for yourself, that it is a work in progress and that you're peeling back the layers. Sometimes the symptoms, what triggered you, might be so strong that you actually need to work on those first to release those before you can actually figure out what's at that deeper layer. I think the example that I used on Sunday was the road rage one, where, you know, I got really angry. I mean, some of these freeways in Brisbane are crazy. So, you know, someone cutting you off is just really irritating. And I was getting really angry with all of that. And it took me a little bit of tapping on those symptoms of, you know, I'm angry, this is not fair, they shouldn't do that. You know, it took me a while to go through that, to then work out that actually them cutting me off wasn't the problem. Them stepping on my personal value of respect and courtesy was actually the problem. And once I tapped around that and actually saying, look, not everyone's going to respect me in the way that I want them to, but they're not my friends. I'm not going to come across them again. I can let this go. This is a moment in time. I don't have to carry this with me. I can let it go. It is safe for me to let it go. Once I did that, I do not get nearly as arced up. I do have bad days. I'm human. But I don't arc up nearly as much or consistently as I used to. So if you can actually work out what your base issue is, your base problem, you'll find that when you get triggered, it won't be strong or you won't be triggered. So if keep working on it to try and find that if you can. Sometimes, you know what, you just need a vent. Sometimes you just need to get it out so that you can actually be calm enough in the moment to deal with what you're dealing with in the best possible way that you can, rather than just in survival mode. So
Thank you.
okay, so let's run through this. Did that answer your question, Annie?
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's run through this. Now, the full script is a little bit different because obviously it targets a specific emotional issue that needs to be cleared. So that full script might be, obviously you need to identify your problem first, like mine was respect and courtesy. You close your eyes, take a really deep breath, send to yourself, and then rate it. Rate it from 1 to 10. You know, 1 being I'm actually hunky-dory and really this is just proactive, or 10, I want to punch someone. So rate it, define how it feels in your body. You know, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What is its color? You'll be able to pick that up because remember I said it was an intuitive process. And then set your opening statement. And the opening statement usually goes along the lines of, even though I feel, and then name your problem or whatever it is that you're feeling, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Now, when I first started doing this, the deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself was a little bit hard for me to swallow. So I actually had to tap on that before I could go any further. And repeat that 3 times. So do that opening statement 3 times. And then go through all of your tapping points, saying how you feel. You can repeat the phrases, like I said, or you can do different ones that are popping into your head. Okay, but the idea about them is that you're speaking out about what's bothering you and how you feel about it. Okay, so it could be all of this anger, all of this anger about being disrespected. It feels like a knot in my stomach. It's grey and murky and full of dirt and debris. I rate it 9 out of 10. You can go through and actually use that to start with to focus and center yourself. Once you've done a full round, you get to the top, take a bit of a breath and check in to assess yourself. How did that feel? Did anything else pop up for you? Did any words pop up for you? So, for example, on Sunday, one of the cards that one of the group members pulled, actually one of the phrases in there really bothered me. I didn't believe it in my heart. I didn't believe it in my body. And so I gave an example of how that one phrase for me needed to come back and be tapped on to make sure that I had released it, acknowledged it and released it. So you don't have to stick to a specific script. You can ad-lib. It's all good. But if anything pops up, make sure you go back, do the rounds again and clear it. Keep going for as long as it takes for you to feel calmer and happier. And then on your final round, ideally, you know, in a perfect world, you've got some positive affirmations in there. I am safe. It's okay for me to let this go. This worry is not serving me. I am a magnificent child of the universe. You know, I am awesome. I am damn good at my job. You know, I am deserving of respect and courtesy, all of those sort of things. So put in some affirmations and some positive stuff. And if you don't believe it, say it again and again and again and again and again until you either accept it or start believing it. And then from there, take your big breath in, check in and re-rate yourself. Ideally, you've come down, even if it's only 1 point. If you started off at a 9 out of 10 and you've gone down to an 8 out of 10, that is excellent. Feel free to go back and do some more tapping and clear more and more. Keep going until you get to a point where you're happy. I've quite often gotten to, you know, I've started off at an 8 and I've gotten down to a 3 and I'm like, yeah, I feel good with that. And I can leave it at that. So it's up to you where you want to go. Follow your intuition. You're muted, Kerrie. You're muted, Kerrie.
Sorry, I forgot I muted because the dog was barking and I wanted everyone to hear what you were saying.
My ESP is good.
My guides just jumped in. They could have told me I was muted, but they didn't, right? What they said was, we often talk about law of attraction and that for you to attract in what you want, you actually need to be the vibration of that. And they just said to me, right, and I may as well share it with you, have you worked out that tapping's actually a way to align your frequency into a space of that belief, which will also then help people with that law of attraction, that manifestation?
Yes.
So I just thought I'd throw that one in. Right.
No, it's great. And it's perfect for this collective as well. Like, you know, if anything, they understand frequency and vibration. And your guides are exactly right. Well done. Thanks for sharing. It's perfect timing. All right. So let's go through this and everyone can join in with me. So these cards are wonderful. They've actually got a mini version of tapping on there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of ad-libbing in that I'm going to say the setup statement 3 times. But let's go through it. So I'm going to say the phrase that's on there. Feel free to repeat after me. I will give you time to do that. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, just keep tapping, following along and saying it in your head. Okay. So we are slowing down and checking in with our needs. So let's start off with our karate chop point. And repeat after me. Actually, no, let's stop that for a moment because my peeps have just said, for the love of God, Rhiannon, take a deep breath and let everyone set up. So let's do that first. Everybody take a nice big deep breath in. And let it out. Okay. Let's start with our karate chop point. Repeat after me. Even though I sometimes rush through life.
Even though I sometimes rush through life.
I choose to slow down now.
I choose to slow down now.
Even though I sometimes rush through life.
Even though I sometimes rush through life.
I choose to slow down now.
I choose to slow down now.
Even though I sometimes rush through life.
Even though I sometimes rush through life.
I choose to slow down now.
I choose to slow down now.
Eyebrow point. I give myself permission to pause.
I give myself permission to pause.
Side of the eye. I quiet my mind.
I quiet my mind.
Under the eye. And tune into myself.
And tune into myself.
Under the nose. Acknowledging my feelings without judgment.
Acknowledging my feelings without judgment.
Under the mouth. I welcome insights from my intuition.
I welcome insights from my intuition.
Collarbone. I find new ways to support myself.
I find new ways to support myself.
Under your arm. I slow down.
I slow down.
Top of your head. And check in with my needs.
And check in with my needs.
Take a big deep breath in. And let it out. How'd that feel?
Yeah, good.
I
How
think
did
I'm
it
much
like-
more relaxed.
Yeah, very
I was
relaxed.
gonna say, I feel like you guys just went from me to
Yeah, absolutely. How does everyone in that's out with us? Let me know in chat. How did you feel moving through that one? Did you do it with us?
Do we need to do another tap or are we at time?
Let's do
Or
one more. We do one more.
One more? Okay. What does the collective? Woo!
Yeah, look,
Okay.
there you go. That was amazing. Lonnie's saying.
Oh, lovely.
Sandy really enjoyed it. Marani saying huge yawn to finish. Yes.
Oh, me too. Sorry.
Yeah, really relaxed, was amazing. Yeah. Let's do one more with everybody, I think.
Okay. I was just shuffling then, and before I even got the question out about what we need to clear, I release any guilt and acknowledge my growth, which I think is actually really great for shedding Year of the Snake.
Oh, yes.
Because we've done a hell of a lot of shedding and a hell of a lot of growth this year. I know I'm darn tootin' weary from it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is great. So we'll release any guilt and acknowledge in our growth. So let's do this again. Big deep breath in, everyone. And release. And let's begin with our karate chop point. Even though I've made mistakes,
Even though I've made mistakes,
I choose to forgive myself now.
I choose to forgive myself now.
Even though I've made mistakes,
Even though I've made mistakes,
I choose to forgive myself now.
I choose to forgive myself now.
Even though I've made mistakes,
Even though I've made mistakes,
I choose to forgive myself now.
I choose to forgive myself now.
Eyebrow point. I let go of the guilt.
I let go of the guilt.
Side of the eye. And hold on to the lessons.
And hold on to the lessons.
Under the eye. My past does not define me.
My past does not define me.
Under the nose. Each day I become a better version of myself.
Each day I become a better version of myself.
Under the mouth. I am growing stronger and wiser.
I am growing stronger and wiser.
Collarbone. I celebrate how far I've come.
I celebrate how far I've come.
Under the arm. And release any guilt.
And release any guilt.
Top of the head. And acknowledge my bloody awesome growth.
and acknowledge my bloody awesome growth.
Big deep breath in. Oh, let that one out. Oh, sorry.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I was about to yawn as well. I can't look at you or I will. that was awesome, Rhiannon.
Yeah. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed that. And, you know, if there's any questions or anything, feel free to ask.
It was lovely. I think we've all learned something. I just hope everybody toddles off and practices it.
Yeah.
What I might do afterwards is in the chat, jump back in. There you go. That was a big yawn from me too. Thanks, Rhiannon, says Anne. What we might do afterwards is I might even put in the name of those cards for everyone. So if they were interested, I think we ended up finding them. Was it on Amazon?
Yeah.
Annie. If anyone's interested in those and wants to give the tapping a go, those cards are a really good way to do it.
Great beginners.
Yeah, so good, Rhiannon. And you have the most joyful presence. Absolutely, doesn't
Thank
she?
you.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jeanette.
You know how you mentioned what the meridians were related to us? Can you write them out for us, please?
There is a cheats way to do this, which will give you more information as well, Anne, if you're interested. If you hop on to the Tapping Solution website, they have a 9 points tapping, it's like a mini handbook. I think it's about 16 pages. And from pages 4 to about 12, I think it is, it actually goes through, I think I've got a printout here. I'll show you what it looks like. It's got that where it talks about the point, and then it actually talks about the meridian and the benefit of each point, and that's on the Tapping Solution app. So if you, or on their website, actually, sorry, not their app, on their website, they've got resources, and there's like a little handbook in there, and that is where that information can be found, and then you've got all of it at your fingertips. You've even, I think they've also got in there from memory, I think they might also have a script example as well, like a template that you can trial as well. Otherwise,
Wonderful.
if you can't find it, hop back in the chat, tag me, and I'll send you a link.
Thank you so much, Miss Rhiannon.
Welcome.
That was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Absolutely wonderful. Now, you know, you've just slowed us all down. I got so much to do this week that I'm just going to do it slowly.
Exactly. Go with calm and grace, because by the time the fire horse hits us and it's full energy on the 17th of November, we'll all be thinking back to this moment going, oh, let me breathe.
That's the thing, though. You know, like we talk about all of the things that we do. We talk about the meditations and we talk about all this, that, and the other. And we can talk until we're purple. But people need to do the work and practice what works for them. You know, so there's a lot of people that they're not that good at meditation because they find they can't still their mind.
Yeah.
Whereas this keeps your mind busy.
Yeah.
While you're speaking your feelings, articulating it, you know. So whatever works for you. But I highly recommend tapping, since Rhiannon showed me this last Sunday. Like I say, I've nearly poked a hole in my head. Tippy tapping.
But you feel so much better for it, even with holes in your head.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like space for stuff to come out.
Yeah. And space for what needs to be in.
All good, Rhiannon, all good. And like I said, it's all so easy.
Yeah.
So, well, what's Miss Kerrie up to in the background here?
I'm sorry. My guides. I was shuffling the cards, right? They're telling me I have one more sentence to write. I was shuffling the cards and they told me stop shuffling and write. Listen. right? So whilst you were talking, I don't know what you guys said because I'm listening to them and I'm writing something down, but they said I've got one more sentence to write. So bear with me. Keep chatting. I'll be back with you in a second.
Chat amongst yourselves, people.
Yeah.
While she does her homework.
Yeah.
See, this
Yeah.
is the perfect example of doing what your guides tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem's going to be is I'm writing this down so fast, will I be able to read it back to you?
Probably
This
not.
is going to be the question.
Clear
Probably
your
not.
points, Kerrie. Clear your points. Use that collarbone.
I am following along. I know what I need to write. I'm going to tell you all in a minute.
Oh my
I
God, I'm
accept
running out of
what you're telling
space
me.
on the page. I've got to do an arrow to the top.
You guys need to get their act together and give you it in sequence, not where you've got to write up the side of pages.
I could have found a full blank page instead of a 3/4 one, couldn't I? But anyway,
So it's Kerrie's
I just
fault.
went to the first blank spot I saw.
Remember we spoke about distraction.
Yeah.
Well, they're telling me not to be distracted, and you are now distracting me from listening to the Manny.
Shush and write.
In the meantime, if you want to shuffle cards and do a reading, feel free.
Don't be talking to me.
Rhiannon, thank you so much. That was so awesome. So awesome. You've inspired my guides.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I look forward to hearing what they came up with. And
Let's see
thank
what
you,
mine have
everyone,
got to
for
say.
humouring me.
Okay. Ooh. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. So as part of last year and this shedding business, a couple of things have come up. The first thing that's come up is clarity. And I think part of last year was for us to get clear in our heads where we need to move forward into this new energy. And the second one that came up, which is interesting, is forgiveness. Because one of these cards that Rhiannon played with us was all about releasing guilt. And this forgiveness, family and friends. So it's important, I feel, that you understand that releasing of any guilt or anything you feel around that, the first thing you need to do is you need to forgive yourself, because sometimes boundaries are hard and sometimes it's for your own sanity or for your own mental health. You have to step away. And I think sometimes last year, maybe a lot of the stuff that we put up with, we gained some clarity on and thought, nope, I can't do this anymore. It's not good for me. It's not good for my mental health. It's not good for my physical health. So when that clarity came through, that was about, I've done as much as I can. I can't do anything else. I need to focus on me. That's selfish. People cringe at that word, but being selfish is about looking after yourself. And I think with some of the stuff that we've cut ties with last year and into the beginning of this year, forgive yourself for stepping away, because I think it was hugely necessary for you to get yourself together again to move forward.
Yep.
So there you go. Kerrie, have you finished?
I have, and I'm going to do my best to read. My mum would call it hen's teeth, even though hens don't have teeth, but hen's teeth writing. Right, so I'm going to do my best to do that because I scribbled it as fast as possible. So from the guides, everybody, beloved ones, your angels, loved ones and guides stand beside you now as the final threads of old stories loosen and fall away. Those versions of yourself shaped by fear, obligation, or forgetting your own light. There is no need to rush forward. Sacred clarity is born in the pause. I think that's what it says. is born in the pause, where you gently choose what truly belongs with you, and the old 9-year cycle completes its teaching. Take these last moments to listen to your heart, for it knows which parts are finished and which are ready to be consciously claimed. As the energy shifts at the close of this month and opens into March, know you are prepared, cleansed, wiser, and ready to step forward in alignment with your soul's truth. And your guides, angels, loved ones walk with you as you, sorry, I've got to follow my arrow now, as you choose anew, wrapped in grace, courage, and divine timing.
Nice.
There you go, lovely. So a message from them. And then they, as I was getting to the end, they said, we stopped you from shuffling the cards, but check your top 3 cards. So shall I do that? This is scary. Is it validation, or are they setting me up? Are they setting me up for myself? Let's see. Death and rebirth. Okay. Okay, so the first part of that message was about that release of the old story, and that makes sense with this card. So that's about letting go that old story. Let's see what the next one. Hang 10, everybody. Time to just take that pause and hang around. Okay. Let's see what the next one is. Yeah. Ready to get really excited and step into that new journey and decide what that next cycle is actually going to look like. So, yeah, okay, smarty pantsers. They said check your bottom too. Hermit, right? Hermit on the bottom. So that's really about if you still feel like you need to hermit a little bit and take yourself away to be in that stillness, that's the right thing to do. And they're also now saying, try and incorporate this tapping. If you need to shed some of that last stuff, incorporate the tapping. So there you go, guys.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miss Kerrie.
That's it from me.
Thank you so much, Rhiannon.
Thank
It's been
you.
wonderful.
Thank
It's
you.
been really interesting, and it's a good reminder for those of us who did it on Sunday to just get another round and do it again.
Yeah.
That's right. I
Absolutely.
probably could be doing another round very shortly because I've just been hearing my dog destroy my courtyard.
Okay, we'll let you go. I've got a frisbee hanging on my foot.
See,
Mine are big in here. And I've got a frisbee hanging on my toe.
that's much
Joy.
nicer than getting past the fencing of your garden.
And guys, thank you so much for joining us in chat, because that's what makes these fortnightly is you guys all being here, bringing your energy in, joining in the chat. It's just awesome to have you all in here. So thank you so much. You bring such beautiful energy. We really enjoy sharing this time with you all. So thanks for being there. If you did want to support our work, someone bought us coffees last fortnight. So thank you to someone. But it didn't give me a name and it didn't give me an email I could recognize. So I don't know who that was, but we truly appreciate it, because anything that we get through coffee donations just goes to help us pay for StreamYard costs. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Maybe
We
we
will
say
see you in a fortnight.
I guess I better get my act together and
Find your out.
end stream. Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
And he whispers secrets in the night, mystical visions taking flight. Kerrie's got that angel glow so bright, gliding through the dark to the light. Tarot cards spread on the cosmic rug, healing power in a gentle hug. Meditation's deep like an ancient grove, finding peace through the stars above. Mind, body, spirit, soul, we rise, angel feathers falling from the sky, psychic waves in a gentle tide. Let the universe be our guide. Sound healing echoes through the air, lifted hearts with a tender care. Spiritual journeys we embark, lighting flames within the dark. Messages from angels clear and true, whispering love in all we do. Psychic development strong and wise, open paths to